Hi guys, welcome to my movie fan channel. My name's Tyler. Today's review is going to be for Godzilla. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below. Hit subscribe and the little notification bell. That way you get alerts when I post a new video. This film gets a lot of grief for hiding the monsters, hiding Godzilla, and being more focused on the humanity aspect, the people. I agree with that criticism in a way, but for several other reasons, I disagree with it. I get that people went into this movie with the intent of seeing the big monster fights and getting excited to see those big monster fights, but the human storyline kind of took over, and it especially stuck out if that's what your idea of what the movie was going to be was, which with a Godzilla movie, it's understandable that you felt that way. The emotion that you get through the characters and their relationship, I think, is important to a story, any story, especially, maybe a Godzilla movie that's all about just monsters. It's different from when people want Transformers movies to all take place on Cybertron and they're all been on Earth so far. And I understand that too. At least those robots could communicate and you get that they have emotions and feeling and there's some kind of foothold in their communication. But they wanted those movies to feel grounded on Earth and you'd be able to relate to the human characters, which that I totally disagree with. But with this movie, it's not like Godzilla's talking, to King Kong or the bad guys that he's fighting, and he can't speak, so you can't really relate to him or follow him around the entire movie. And you're not going to stick through that thing because it's not even a narrative. It'd be a movie of just big monster fights, and that would get boring. There would be people walking out of it. So like I said, they stress the importance of relationships in this movie with the characters, and you could also argue that the characters don't stick around long enough for their emotional relationships and bonds that they have to even have any relevance to the story. And I get that too, because characters in this movie crap out pretty fast, especially some of the big name actors. They don't stick around. Bryan Cranston is dead probably a little bit before halfway through, and you think he's going to be a main focus, especially when the trailers first came out for this. I remember it seemed like he was going to be one of the main characters. Aaron Taylor Johnson got a lot of screen time considering how much everybody else got, but his role wasn't really meaty enough to do anything crazy with. So these are all issues that I totally acknowledge, and these shortcomings don't ruin the movie for me totally. It's not one of the most rewatchable ones, but there are things that I like. For instance, the Monarch organization and how that sets up a potential cinematic universe. Now, as we've seen, as we're anticipating the release of Kong vs. Godzilla, they've done a pretty decent job of setting up their universe and building up to that to where people are excited. I think the design of Godzilla and the scenes that you get him in are pretty good. The fight scenes and stuff, and him stomping through the city, destroying things and fighting the other monsters. I think the cast is stacked with some great actors. Like I said, none of them really have anything to really sink their teeth into in terms of the roles that they play. They're all just kind of there in the background. It's weird to see Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen as husband and wife because they're brother and sister in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. I kind of forgot that was a thing in this movie, and I was like, whoa. I always find it silly that at the end of this movie, when Godzilla destroyed the city fighting, it's like when Goku would destroy the city in Dragon Ball Z. Everybody's like, oh yeah, he saved the day, and it's like, dude, you destroyed everything. And they do a good job in Batman vs. Superman of like showing Bruce Wayne's perspective as the city's crumbling around. He's saving people, and he's like, damn, these superpowered dudes are like destroying shit. Like, it's their fault. Godzilla probably doesn't have a lot of intent. They kind of make it seem like, oh, he was the protector of the city, and these monsters wanted to do harm, and he wanted to just kill them and not us. But look at all the damage he did in that city. It was thousands of people had to have died. So it was kind of crazy that they like hailed him as like, yeah, just because he left after the other monsters were dead. It's kind of silly. I think Godzilla's an okay movie, guys. Nothing spectacular. Let me know what you thought down below. Give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe and the little notification bell like I said in the beginning. And I will see you guys in the next review.